What's going on out there, good people? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing, man? I know it's been a minute. It's been a minute. It has been a minute. Today I just wanted to touch on something that we've all been witnessing, dealing with, understanding. Some of us understand it. Some of us don't. So I'm going to give a little understanding on the times that we are in. And we're going to speak a little bit about the times that we are in. We're going to be coming out of 2 Timothy 3 1 through 5. 2 Timothy 3 1 through 5. And it reads, "You should know this, Timothy, that in the last days there will be very difficult times. In the last days there will be very difficult times." The last time I checked, times are difficult for everybody. Times are difficult for everybody. Not only are times difficult for everybody, you find yourself battling with everybody. I mean, at odds with everybody. Mothers and daughters, brothers and sisters, and husbands and wives, and mothers and sons, and fathers and daughters, and you find yourself at odds with almost everybody in these difficult times. Um, for people will love only themselves and their money. For people will love only themselves and their money. We are living in a time where people put self-worth above the principles of God. We are living in a time where people put self-worth above the principles of God. Mm, 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 mm. They will be boastful and proud and scoffing at God, disobedient to their parents and ungrateful. They will consider nothing scared. Man, is that this generation? Man, is that this generation? Disobedient to their parents? Is that this generation? Boastful, considering nothing scared? Anytime you can kill a police officer, anytime you can honestly shoot and kill anybody that hasn't brought any bodily harm to you or your family, I mean, good Lord, what type of person are you? You could just, take another life as if life is not precious, as if life is something you can give back. Once that soul leave that body, that's it. It'll never, you can never give it back. You can never replace it. So many things in life are replaceable, but life ain't. They will be unloving and unforgiving. See, right there, that's big. They will be unloving and unforgiving. See, there's a cycle to forgiveness, and the cycle to forgiveness is you must forgive the trespasser so that God can forgive you when you trespass against. You must forgive the trespasser so that God can forgive you when you trespass against. Because none of us are perfect. None of us are perfect. We all make mistakes. We all fall short of the glory of God. We all fall short. And his grace is substantial enough to cover us. They will slander others and have no self-control. No self-control. Just shooting up school buildings and shooting up churches and just killing folks and killing innocent kids and killing innocent people. No self-control, not deeply rooted in anything, easily uprooted from everything. Mental health, emotional health. Your emotions is all over the place. Your thoughts is all over the place. That's why you gotta get deeply rooted into this word. You have to get deeply rooted into this word. You don't want your thoughts to be all over the place. Your emotions, your mental, all over the place. You don't want that. You need to be deeply rooted, because we are living in a time where the enemy is attacking every point of weakness. The enemy is attacking every point of weakness. So if he see a point of weakness in your life, he begins to attack it. Okay? He begins to attack where you are at your weakest point, where you are the most vulnerable. He begins to attack that in hopes that you will turn against the living God, or turn against God's path, or turn against God's direction for your life. For your life. They will be cruel and hate what is good. They will betray their friends and be reckless. They will betray their friends. So people living in these last days, living in these end times, we must understand that loyalty is one of the hardest things that you're gonna that you're gonna try to that you can even come by nowadays. Let's be honest. Loyalty is like, I don't know, solid gold. You know, it's one of the hardest things that you can come by in today's society, is loyalty. And it says right here, they will betray their friends. They will betray their friends. So some of us that are so shocked at having to let some people go, don't be. Don't be. Don't be at all. They betray their friends and be reckless. They will be puffed up with pride and love pleasure rather than God, and love pleasure. They will love to satisfy their own sinful nature more than they love God. And we've all been guilty of satisfying the flesh. We've all been guilty of satisfying the flesh. That is something that it's a constant battle. It's a constant work. This walk is it's forever. It's as long as you live, you're gonna work at it. As long as you live, you're gonna work at this walk. Mm, 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 mm. They will act religious, but they will reject the power that could make them godly. Stay away from people like that. Mm, 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 mm. So we gonna title this "The Signs of the Time." So now that I've kind of read through 2 Corinthians 3:1-5, we're gonna lay, that was laying the foundation. Now we're gonna put the rest of the house on. So we're going to title this Understanding the Signs. Okay? Understanding the signs of the times. Understanding the signs of the times. Now, in understanding the signs of the times, wisdom is needed here. Wisdom is needed to understand the signs of the time. If you are using wisdom and understanding the signs of the time, it teaches us that the days are numbered. It teaches us that the days are numbered. Mm, 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 mm. So we must focus on the kingdom. We must focus on the kingdom as the days are shorter. They are numbered and they are shorter. And the cry for the advancement of the kingdom is growing loud. Mm, 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 mm. We must focus on the kingdom as the days are shorter and the cry for the advancement of the kingdom is growing louder. Mm, 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 mm. Our brethren is spiritually blinded. So much so that he's spiritually dead. And it is our duty to preach a living word to a dying world. It is our responsibility to preach a living word to a dying world. Mm, 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 mm. We must realize that we are in the end times. And we in spiritual warfare. So a lot of the things that's taking place right now is because Satan knows and understands that his time is limited. His time was numbered, and that time is coming to an end. Mm, 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 mm. That time is coming to an end. Christ is coming back. And Christ is coming back to preach his word. He is coming back to give everybody an opportunity to believe the living bread. He's coming back to preach this word. All throughout the world. Now we must understand in this that many afflictions must take place. In fact, many afflictions have already begun. They are already underway. The afflictions of life, the afflictions of revelation have already begun. The afflictions of revelation have already begun. The afflictions that was prophesied about have already begun. And we are now walking in revelation. And we are now walking in revelation. The afflictions have already begun. And we are now walking in revelation. Again, this is titled Understanding the Signs of the Times. When you understand the signs of the time, you will be able to understand how to maneuver in these times. Listen, family, as always, I love y'all, man. God is love and God is peace. Get into y'all word. Pray over these children. They going back to school. Pray over these children. Pray over your families. Pray over your wives, your husbands, your mothers, your fathers. I understand that we all got a lot going on, and we all, probably got some family issues and so have you. So just pray over those situations and pray over those people and be the best version of you and continue to dive into this word, man, and be who God has called you to be, or just work at it at least. Work at who God has called you to be. And remember, always remember, you are perfectly made in his image. You are perfectly made in his image and in his likeness, and you can do all things through him who strengthens you. God is love, God is peace, family. I'm out.